Hey, I'm Jason, and this is Our Dad Plays. We're at week 7 of our league draft. We've got an exciting one for you today. This is number 1 team versus the number 2 team. The number 1 team is Josh. We're going to be connecting with him in just a minute, and I'm here with Andy, and he is the number 2 team, and we're going to take a look at his team before we start. First team Pokemon this week is Kingdra. He's going to be running a Scope Lens with Focus Energy to give it a little bit of extra boost. He's going to run Hurricane in case he needs to get that speed up, Hydro Pump, and Draco Meteor. Next is Politoed with Rindo Berry. It's going to run that Perish Song, Protect, Scald, and Icy Wind. Perish Song's really nice to have in the back if you need it. He's going to run Raichu with Eerie Impulse. If you haven't seen that before, it's pretty cool. We'll talk about that later. It's got Thunderbolt, Nuzzle, and Fake Out. So we've got a new move on him this week. Rotom with Nasty Plot, Overheat, Protect, Thunderbolt, and the Pasho Berry. And Urshifu, Choice Banded this week. Close Combat, Sucker Punch, Ice Punch, Wicked Blow. And now we've got his favorite, Escavalier, with the Overcoat, Assault Vested, Close Combat, Drill Run, Excisor, and Iron Head. So we will go ahead and try to connect with our opponent. So we've got a couple of changes, and that's one thing about the Draft League that's pretty cool, is what we do is, in the regular season, you can customize your team to go against your opponent. So we all have 8 Pokemon that we draft during the season, and then you bring 6 of the 8 Pokemon against your opponent. So they don't know which 6 until you connect. So right now, Josh is about to see which 6 Andy's going to bring, and vice versa. They also won't know what items or moves until they play each other. So that's going to be pretty interesting. You will see banned Pokemon under Series 6 rules being utilized in this matchup because we drafted well before during the Series 5 rules. So that's one thing that we have going for us here is we utilize all the Pokemon in the region. So they're connected. We're going to get a chance to see for the first time what Josh's team looks like. So he's looks like he's opted to leave off his Snorlax. And do you know what other Pokemon he left?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Scrafty.
And Scrafty. So no Scrafty, no Snorlax. But we do have the Heliolisk. We do have Duraludon. And he's going with his 2 weather typings, which we kind of figured we're going to see a little Weather Wars today. So we've got the Ninetales and everybody's favorite, the Venusaur. So we're probably going to get to see a glimpse into G-Max Venusaur today. He really loves this Pokemon. He's very, very good at it. And so it's going to be pretty interesting. So from our end, we're actually recording. We are not streaming live. So we can talk pretty much about anything we want. So Andy's choosing to Raichu first, along with Kingdra second, the Escavalier, and we'll see which one he picks fourth here. And he picks Politoed to go fourth. So again, I'm just a neutral third-party observer. I'm just going to be commentating on the match itself. And we're going to get underway here. This is exciting. These guys have done great. I played Andy earlier this season. I have not played Josh in the league, but Josh is undefeated. And Andy has only lost one match. 2 games he dropped to Tyler. So that's how they became our number 1 and number 2 team so far. So let the Weather Wars begin. Out come Ninetales and Venusaur. Squaring off with the Raichu and the Kingdra. So, Bright Sun comes. So if you're not familiar with Eerie Impulse, what it does is it drops the special attack by 2 stages. It can absolutely cripple a Pokemon that you decide to max. Because, of course, you don't really want to waste those 3 turns of max if you can help it. So and you know, so you don't, and that's exactly what's happening right now. He is maxing that Pokemon, and we'll see if he gets this Eerie Impulse off, because this can drop it by 2 stages, and can leave it, you know, rather useless on the field if it gets them drops. It's very, very fast. We see that right off the bat. Vine Lash comes out, drops Raichu down to his sash. And Eerie Impulse does get off and is going to drop Venusaur down by 2 stages. That is definitely going to have an impact. Ninetales uses a safeguard on that side. I am trying to figure out what that was all about. And Focus Energy gets off for Kingdra. That can be really tough. And there is the G-Max Vine Lash taking out the Focus Sash of the Raichu and doing a little bit of damage to Kingdra. That is a really brutal after effect of some of these starter Pokemon's G-Max effect. All right, here comes Politoed in, and here comes the rain. So we'll see what Josh has to counteract that rain that we're seeing here. Is he simply going to remove his Ninetales, or does he have something else in mind? All right. He opts for an Icy Wind here, and a G-Max Airstream. We're going to see a full attack into the Venusaur. This should be very interesting because the Venusaur is going to be nerfed quite a bit with that double stage attack drop from Kingdra. And not only that, so he is taking out the Ninetales. And here comes Duraludon. Duraludon, notorious for carrying an electric attack. And also having Stalwart, which allows it to target down different, cannot be redirected. Alright, so Kingdra maxes up. It's got Focus Energy off. It is definitely going to be a force to be dealt with. And Venusaur pulls off a Max Guard, so it is going to avoid any damage this turn. And Politoed gets off Icy Wind. You're going to see a speed drop in the Duraludon as that hits. Does some damage to Duraludon. There's that residual Vine Lash beating into both Pokemon. So Kingdra's got 2 turns of Vine Lash damage. Other than that, he's still got the Focus Energy up. And his turn 2 of G-Max here. This is Venusaur's last turn of G-Max. He wasted a turn having to protect there. But I wouldn't say even wasted. It's actually might be a good move because he does have the 2-stage special attack drop. So I'm not sure what advantage it would have attacking at that point. Okay, here comes the Vine Lash. It's going to go into Politoed, who takes the berry. How much is this going to do with that double stage drop? Oh my goodness, it is hardly any damage whatsoever. And you see right there the combination of the Rindo Berry along with the stage drop. It hardly did anything to the Politoed. Now we're going to see Duraludon goes down to the boosted Kingdra. Well, it was a critical hit. Devastating. That is a really big hit. And Icy Wind connects. That is going to drop down the Venusaur, and that is his last turn of Max. So, as we see there, he is in a commanding position here with Politoed. Duraludon is out. That probably was... I'm not sure what he has in the back. We'll get to see, I believe, the one last Pokemon. But with that electric attack gone... There's the Ninetales. Oh, I apologize. That was the... There we go. Yep. So he brings Ninetales back out. So now we get to see the sun back out. So... with the Icy Wind is going to go off again here. But Venusaur will now be double speed in the sun. And and uses a sleep powder on Kingdra, which connects. So Kingdra will not get off a last turn, and Ninetales uses a Will-O-Wisp, but it does not connect. That misses. So there's the Icy Wind, which might be a critical factor. It does drop the stage, the Venusaur again in... that may make a difference, but maybe not right now because Kingdra is asleep. And there goes that Vine Lash. I swear that beating, it just seems like it goes on forever, the residual damage from the G-Max Venusaur. Okay, so here we are. Turn 2 of the Sun again. Looks like Andy is going to go ahead and try to get Politoed out and try to safely switch in his Escavalier and get off an attack if he can wake up here. A beautiful switch in. Oh my goodness, it does nothing to his Cavalier. And his Safeguard. That was a really great switch in there. And now he can cycle it back, he can get the rain back, and in the rain, could try to connect with the Hurricane. That was a really great turn, really timely switch in. He predicted the poison move into that slot to try to take out the Politoed. Okay, so there goes Venusaur. He's going to try to reset the speed on that, and Primarina is the 4th Pokemon. So we are going to see what happens here. He has really got a stacked team, does Josh. Politoed's Drizzle starts up. That's going to nerf any damage from the Ninetales, who uses Mystical Fire into that slot, who's not there anymore. Now it's Politoed. And Kingdra wakes up. Hurricane goes into the slot. And Primarina is there. And it's a critical hit. And it does 60% to Primarina, triggering the berry. Looks like a citrus berry. It is. And that's where we sit right now. So Kingdra still has the boost, has the attack boost. He's awake now. And there goes Ninetales out to hopefully reset that weather. Okay, so here comes Venusaur. Kingdra using the Hurricane again to take out the Primarina. It just isn't quite enough. Another critical hit. And triggers Confusion. Politoed hits a Scald into the Venusaur slot and does not very much damage. Primarina's confused and it hurts itself in Confusion. Wow, that was a big turn. Big turn there. And the sun will come out now, making Venusaur the fastest thing on the field again. So, it's already revealed that devastating sleep powder, but it does have an attacking move as well. This is a great game. This is definitely a battle we expected. This is still anybody's game at this point. Andy has the numbers in his side, but Josh has the weather battle right now. So we're going to find out what's going to happen here. As Cavalier comes back out. Oh, Sleep Powder into the overcoat. That does not work. Here comes Mystical Fire into Politoed. It does not work. And I think what we're going to see here, we do. We see the Perish Song come out. That starts the timer. He has 3 turns to knock everybody out, or this is the end of game 1. These last few turns, masterfully played by Andy. I don't know if Josh could have played him any differently. He really did a great job switching in his weather. The one switch in was a really key, and the confusion really just bad luck for Josh on that one. Here comes Politoed. He's going out. In goes Kingdra, because he's going to have to attack from here on out. Here goes Earth Power into his Cavalier. Oh my gosh, this thing is just a beast. It's just so bulky. So Mystical Fire into his Cavalier. It does knock it out. So this is definitely not over yet. Parasong down to 2. And here comes Politoed back out with the rain. Politoed is down to very low HP. Kingdra is going to be now the fastest thing on the field. So we've literally gone blow to blow with these heavyweights, Venusaur and Kingdra. Pretty exciting stuff here. All right, Politoed uses Protect. He's going to try to hang around as long as he can. Scorching Sands from Ninetales comes out in the rain. I'm not sure. This is probably not going to do very much. There's a Sludge Bomb into Kingdra. Oh, he gets poisoned. That's amazing. Man, that's crazy. That's probably payback for the confusion that happened earlier. There is a Hurricane into the beefy Venusaur, which does finally go down. And the poison takes damage. Oh, he does. He just faints. That had to be the right amount there. Parasong is there. And is he going to opt for which one? Try to double protect? Or this is interesting. He's going for the double protect. And it fails. Scorching Sands. Yeah, I probably didn't have much choice there. That was a really great first battle, just like we expected. Well played game for both opponents. Yeah, I could see the disappointment in Andy's face, but honestly, that could have gone either way. That Venusaur is really bulky. I'm very surprised it takes so many hits. The confusion probably came at a terrible time for Josh, but the poison came at a worse time for Andy right there in the end, and it was just enough to take him out. So really, really great game by both opponents. Honestly, I try and look back. Andy made some amazing switch-ins. Josh made some amazing switch-ins. So I'm really curious to see if they're going to change who they brought this time. So it looks like right off the bat, Andy is thinking Rotom's a better matchup. The Primarina didn't do anything for Josh last time. I'm really surprised if he brings it again. In my opinion, Heliolisk might be a better matchup. Yeah, he's got Raichu, but he could almost tuck it in the back. Duraludon didn't do a lot for him either. He really, his Ninetales and his Venusaur did all the heavy lifting. So, who knows? Maybe Braviary. So we're going to see that come out maybe here to try in the beginning maybe. I'm not sure. But either way, weather wars were waged. We're going to see some different tech in this round now, in this match. So it's just was really difficult from the draft league standpoint to think, when you look at Josh's team, how he got all these great Pokemon on his team. I'm still kind of flabbergasted, actually, because we drafted the same teams he did, and I'm just can't figure out how each round he was able to pick up these Pokemon. So I kind of feel like an idiot that we drafted next to him, and he was able to pick up these people. these Pokemon. But hey, more power to him. He did a great job. Okay, so we do. He did bring Heliolisk. He agreed with me. And, yeah, he's got to deal with Raichu, but Heliolisk here offers some great things with this match as well. So I think I agree. Okay, so there's Eerie Impulse. It goes into Duraludon, and that is going to drop him down. And Heliolisk does substitute. So there's our little surprise possibly for this one. Duraludon is using Snarl. So this may be a support Duraludon. We've seen this used in singles matches to actually great effect. Very, very good tech. And the Nasty Plot gets off from Rotom. Let me tell you, you do not want these Nasty Plot sets out there. They are devastating. They're very good against many different opponents, but especially Venusaur. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. All right, so Nasty Plot out. We're going to see if what happens from this point on. But this appears to be, just on the surface anyway, a support Duraludon. But it could be wrong. It might just be one running that one support attack. Okay, Thunderbolt goes off into Heliolisk. I'm guessing this is possibly... Okay, so this is a support Heliolisk. Gets off a screen, light screen. So he's setting up screens. He's prepping the battlefield. He's setting up... He's now dropped them 2 stages now. So with the Nasty Plot, he's setting up another Nasty Plot. So now he's +2 instead of being +4. So this is so that's what he's doing. He's trying to prep the battlefield. He's setting screens. At one point, he may try to switch in. So I'm guessing he feels pretty comfortable with where he's at, just having him camped out here, and doing this doesn't really hurt anything. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, and it's one of those things that dropping its attack doesn't really help, because the snarls can go off over and over again. That's a good idea. He nuzzles it, so he gets the paralysis off. It may cause it to flinch in the future. So here comes the Weather Ball. Into Raichu. Does a modest 25%. Nothing crazy. There is another Nasty Plot. Not sure you want to let this thing keep going. This would be pretty interesting. Okay, there's another Snarl. Okay, but we're at +3, I believe, now. So, nobody would tell me I would have to do math for these sessions. So, I was done with that a long time ago. All right. So, Heliolisk is just sitting here doing his thing. He's just kind of doing a little hate and discontent. And Duraludon is just content to sit here doing snarls over and over. Eventually that paralysis is going to kick in. So, and here we go. Okay, so now we're seeing the max. At +3, this Rotom is going to probably, I'm guessing, target down the Eerie Impulse, hit Duraludon. Because he's getting tired of this. He's getting pretty tired of the of that action happening, the snarl action. So he doubles up. Oh, nope. He's still going after the Heliolisk. There goes the Weather Ball. Again, doesn't do much to it. And here comes the Max Flare. Oh, he actually goes into the Heliolisk. Interesting. Substitute fades. Okay. So the Heliolisk comes up. The Snarl goes out. Rotom avoids that one. Wow. Okay. So Rotom avoids that one. And there it is. It reveals that it's dry skin. So, makes sense to use a dry skin ability on Heliolisk in this matchup because of Andy's Rain team. Rain duo, anyway. So, there comes the Thunderbolt. Into the Electric type. And he's using Substitute over again. And Max Flare goes off into Duraludon. And it takes it out. Yeah, at +3, this thing can do a lot of damage. He's got one more turn. One more turn of this. So... this is going to be an interesting turn here. I'm wondering what he has to bring out. I'm thinking we're going to see some Venusaur here, but I'm not quite sure. He's thinking about it quite thoroughly. Okay. So we've seen totally different leads this game. Braviary comes out, which is a little surprising to me because you got a Raichu on the field, you got a Rotom there, you've got the sun up. I wonder if he brought Venusaur this game. I'm very curious. I'm a little curious as to why he would do that. So, I mean, if he gets hit with this thing, it's going down. I mean, it's very susceptible to a Thunderbolt. So, interesting. He's got a plan, though. Josh is not undefeated for a reason. So, this will be a very interesting move. So, Braviary comes out. He may be trying to get his speed up. Here comes Urshifu, taking the field. Braviary pulling Tailwind, exactly what I was thinking. And there goes Weather Ball into Urshifu. Probably, oh my goodness, that did a lot. That was a crit. So it does about 80%, but this is going to do a lot too. End of story for Braviary. And that's what a +3 Rotom will do. Now, it's interesting because we've got the electric terrain. You're not going to see the hate and discontent or sleep moves that you would from the Venusaur if it comes out here. So, all right. My barista just brought my coffee. Woo! Thank you. Okay. So, either no Venusaur. Yep, no Venusaur. This is it. So Primarina is the last Pokemon. Very interesting. Totally different lead this game. Andy's in a pretty commanding position with 4 Pokemon left. Primarina and Heliolisk are the last Pokemon for Josh this game. He opted for a totally different game, this one. So he still got his substitute. He's going to be maxing Primarina here. So let's see what happens. He's got to be worried about that. He's got Tailwind off. So I'm sure he's going to be targeting down the Rotom. There goes the Sucker Punch. Into the Heliolisk. It goes to the Weather Ball. It's going to be trying to take out the Urshifu. He anticipated that. Go ahead and sacrificed it. Got rid of the substitute there. And Max Geyser comes out. There goes the berry. Is it going to be enough to save this Rotom, though? Max attack. It is. This could be it. We're in the electric terrain. +3 Rotom. I don't know if it's going to survive. Oh, it does. And triggers the berry. Okay, so it's got the 25. It's got a citrus berry. Okay. So Heliolisk. That's right. I remember that from the first game. I should remember that. All right. So Heliolisk sitting at about 60%. And okay. Andy opts to send out Raichu. So he's got 2 electric Pokemon on the field. One does counteract the other. That's what I figured he was going to do, was go ahead and preserve the Rotom. It's got some speed in it. He's got Fake Out here. He's got a lot of options he can use. Takes out the Rotom, puts in the Politoed. From here, he can actually do a lot of things like he did last game. Sends out Weather Ball into the Raichu. Raichu goes down. It's got to survive one more turn. Politoed. Looking good. Does drop the speed, though. Man, Josh is just a really good player. Down 4-2. Comes out. Now it's 2-2. And both Pokemon are in a very tough spot here. He's still got Tailwind. I believe he's got another turn to Tailwind. Politoed is down to 7 HP, and it's paralyzed. Second time in a row in the last two Pokemon, a status condition comes up. Rotom goes down to a max water attack. And Politoed's paralyzed. It cannot get off. Not sure it would have made much difference. Heliolisk is almost full health now from the leftovers. So, yeah, that's a... I mean, with the Tailwind and the Primarina, you know, being at full health, being able to max up, and, you know, the Heliolisk didn't seemingly do much, but really was able to help out a lot in the end. All it had to do was get rid of, just chip away at the other Pokemon, and, you know, unfortunately, it made a lot of difference for it. So really, really well played here by Josh. And there's a reason he's still number one. He's still the number one team. So it was well played by both opponents. Andy, I think brought the right Pokemon. I really do. I don't know how else he could have played it. We'll have to talk about it probably some other time and see what the outcome would have been. So, but that's it for us tonight. The Battle of Two Titans squared off, and still makes Andy still one of the top teams in the league, and Josh is still undefeated. So thanks for tuning in to Our Dad Plays, and hope you have a great night.